Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris, the Aerial Caddy. Today we're going to check out a course that's been around since 1987. It's a first John Houck design. It's going to be Zilker Park Disc Golf Course in Austin, Texas, and this will be the front nine. Hole 1 is a 251-foot par 3, and spoiler alert, every hole on this course is a par 3. It's a pretty straightforward design. There's not much to look forward to here other than this tree here on the right. It tends to play with a bit of a tailwind, so most of your shots are going to stable up your disc, and you kind of end up filtering over here to the left. If you turn one over just a little bit too far, you may end up underneath this tree over here to the right, but it's really not a bad place to be. Most of the time these little mulch chips stop everything. Hole 2 is 233-foot par 3. That is also pretty straightforward. This hole is actually a little bit sneaky in a sense. You can either go straight at it and just try to miss these branches over here on the right side, just kind of filter to it, or there's a forehand gap if you kind of take it up high over this bush to the left here and just kind of let it spike in. The only thing that you really want to make sure not to do is to hit this tree on the right or to go a little bit long. These mulch chips usually stop things, and these logs kind of help everything sit in one place too, but if you get back there you can get trapped. The walk from hole 2 to hole 3's basket is probably 200 yards. The original tee pad's to the right, but as you can see the basket on the left there, that's hole 1's fairway. If you just hug on the right side here and just make sure you're paying attention so you don't get hit with the disc, you'll notice some signs along the way. There's one coming up right here in front of me. They were doing this construction and clearly had to move things around a little bit, so they're just working with what they have. But you can dump off your trash and make your way through the woods. It's actually pretty nice coming through here. I sped this up, like I was saying. It's pretty far, but it's worth the walk. This is probably my favorite hole on the course coming up here shortly. Hole 3 is a 240-foot hole, slightly uphill. There's a tree right in the middle of this fairway here that's really going to be your biggest issue. I mean, it's pretty tight off the tee box, but if you get something and you just toss it right at that tree that has just a little bit of turn to it, you'll fade right towards the basket. But if you turn too hard or you kind of try to force something over, you'll get caught up in these other trees that are offset to the right a little bit. There's like a little forehand flex line that you could do as well, but those 3 trees that are kind of back behind this V tree here tends to get in the way. If you throw something straight at the ground as well, these logs that we're flying over right now will also put your disc at a dead standstill. So if you get up here and you get yourself in a position for a 2, it was a great shot. Hole 4 is a 312-foot hole, and just complete opposite of the other one. This one's slightly downhill. It's a little bit unassuming. This gap here in front of you where this tree is right in the middle, and the one to the right of it, it probably only leaves you about 8 feet to actually hit this gap. But if you take a mid-range or something and just squeeze it right through the top just a little bit, about right where the drone is flying. If you get something nice and flat like right through here, as soon as you pop out over this way, your disc starts to slow down, and then using the hillside itself, you'll kind of fade over and trickle into this little landing zone. This hole's a lot of fun to play. Hole 5 is 202 feet. This comes in as the second shortest hole on this course. It's pretty scenic from the tee pad itself. Whenever you're throwing this one, it's basically a really straight putter shot that kind of slightly flies over these bushes here with maybe a little bit of turn to the right. Or you can get a little flex shot in there if you're throwing a forehand or something like that. But it looks a little farther on camera, but it's actually a very short shot. "234 feet. From the last basket, if you kind of continue around the corner, there's this old amphitheater that you can see, and if you just walk up the right side of it, you'll walk right into this little gap. It's a short shot, but it's also a tricky shot. You want to get just over these trees that you see right here, but you also want to make sure to get right. This biggest tree is harboring the basket all the way on the back side of it. And you have a lot of limbs that are kind of just standing out like fingers. So just grab your disc and throw it on the ground. So this is a lot of fun to play this shot. "346 feet, but feels like 400 feet is hole 7. This one obviously plays down next to the side of a road here, and there's also a road that kind of intersects right in front of the basket a little bit. So when you're playing this one, you have two options. Kind of either go big straight at it and worry about hitting these two trees directly in front of you, or you can kind of go big hyzer. It's my typical play, over about where this truck is, over the trees, and kind of let it dive in. It tends to stop pretty close that way. The winds are up though, you might just want to like lay up around here somewhere or run at it, but there's a lot of stuff in front of this road that can become problems. And that bright green patch that we just passed there does not let a disc through whatsoever. Hole 8, 280 feet. This is a pretty straightforward shot. The only mistake that you don't want to make on this hole is going to the left. If you throw something on any kind of hyzer and you skip off this ground whatsoever, you're going to get in jail. I mean, you can save par, but if you skip pretty far in there, you can definitely be taking a bogey on this hole. If you hug it out just flat over here where these two trees are on the right, you usually just let something kind of fade in. That's the typical shot. But you also have to be aware of this log that sits right here in front of the basket. It's about 25 feet away and it'll just stop you in its place. Hole number 9, 184 feet. This is the shortest hole on the course. This one is right there for the grabbings. There is trouble if you go long of this one though, and the wind tends to be from the right to the left. So whenever you throw out here and you get past this little bush on the right side, the wind just kind of wants to take your disc and sling it over to the left into this little ditch that's over here. But if you're running straight at it, just make sure you give it a chance, but also be aware of the road right back behind it. That's going to be all for the front 9. Please be sure to come back and I'll try to get the back 9 up as quickly as possible. Again, my name is Chris. I'd appreciate it if you can give me some commentary on how you feel about this and if you'd like to see more. Thanks, guys.